Hello my dear friends, in this video I am going to take another question asked by Mr. Sandeep, and the question is very interesting. All his questions are interesting. Now he says, can we have a dialogue with the superpower? If yes, how? Yes, my dear, we are in a sense divine, right? And the superpowers which are looking after life on earth, each person is being minutely watched by his or her own self. It is a very intelligent system we are living in, right? So it is very much possible, and you may not realize, see, that already at so many occasions, in so many situations, you got messages, intuitive messages coming from your own self or other divine forces which are there trying to help you all the time. But that is one way of communication, right? Now if you are looking for a two-way dialogue, that is also possible, yes. But let me tell you that all these communications with the divine are generally telepathic nature, right? And if you have any experience of telepathy, you may have, because it is very common, lot of things they do happen in our life and we are not aware, right? Any person with whom you are very close, very intimate, now that person may be living at a very great distance from you, right? But distance in case of telepathy doesn't matter at all. The person may be on any other planet or on any other universe. What I mean to say is the distance is immaterial in these things. So if you are very intimate, very close to a person, and that person is living far away from you, and so many times when you think about that person or that person thinks about you, you may get telepathic messages. And in most cases, it so happened with me many times that I am aware from where the message is coming. You automatically come to know telepathic messages are real messages, right? You don't hear a loud voice of that person, but in your mind, right, you know that you have got this message from that person. Yes. So all the these dialogues which you are looking for with the divine, they will be on telepathic level, right? Yes, in rare cases one can hear a voice also coming from the divine sources. Yes, that is also possible, but that is very rare, right? Now there are so many subtle points in this regard which I wish to point out. First of all, it all depends. You say how? It all depends upon the intensity of your desire to communicate, urgency, why you want to communicate. What is it? Is it just idle curiosity, right? Or you are testing? No. What is the urgency? Intensity of your desire to communicate. And persistence. That is very important. Occasionally, right, you may desire that I want to communicate, or I want to have a dialogue with the superpower. Then you forget about it. No, persistence. Do you know there is a great example? Do you know the great mentor, Guruji of Swami Vivekananda, Ramakrishna Parmahansa? He was mad in a sense. He wanted to communicate with the Divine Mother Maa Kali. In that, if you have visited that temple, great temple in Dakshineshwar, Calcutta, that Kali temple, where he was as a priest, and he was just, in a sense, for other people, he was just a mad person, because he wanted to communicate with Divine Mother. He will go to that statue. There is a statue of Divine Mother Maa Kali. I have seen that, and he will go to that statue and will talk as if he is face to face with the Divine Mother. He spent so much time with persistence, and then it happened, right? So persistence is very important. It happened. Whenever he had any question in mind, he will go to that statue of Divine Mother Maa Kali and ask, and he instantly got answers in his mind. No other person would listen that, because it is telepathic, but he is sure that Divine Mother has answered. Yes, it is very much possible. Now you have to have faith, you have to believe that it is possible, then urgency, why you want to communicate, right? And then persistence, right? Persistence of this desire, then it will be possible, right? It has been possible with so many people. Yes, why not with you, right? But it will be telepathic. The other way is, see, when at night we sleep, in deep sleep, our astral body leaves the physical body, still connected with the physical body. There is a cord, invisible cord, called silver cord, and astral body leaves the physical body, and that is called astral traveling, right? So during that also you can go into the astral world. If you are conscious, you can develop conscious astral traveling, then you are fully aware. I have experienced that. Yes, you can be. Then in that state you can go to the astral world, spirit world, and you can contact the divine beings, highly evolved divine beings, and you can resolve any question which is in your mind. Yes, it is possible, but you require persistence, and also very important, let me tell you, purity of your mind, right? Purity. The more moral you are, right, the more pure you are in your mind, not harming others, not doing wrong things, there is greater possibility that you will be able to have a dialogue with the superpowers. Yes, why not? Our nearest superpower is our overself, but it is not so easy to communicate. You have to have persistence. Now there is an example which happened in West Bengal, and this the great sage Swami Paramahansa Yogananda ji, and his wonderful, marvelous book, Autobiography of a Yogi, right? In that book, he has mentioned. He went to meet that great lady, Giribala. Giribala, she got married while she was very young, right? As it so happened in India, right? And she was in a habit from childhood. She was in a habit of all the time eating something, right? And her mother warned her that, my child, you will have trouble when you get married. Those people may not tolerate this habit of yours, right? You want something to eat all the time, you are eating. Now, it so happened that after marriage, her mother-in-law, she was terrible, and she when she pointed out to her this habit, and one day her mother-in-law scolded her, and she felt it so emotionally, so strongly, that she locked herself in her room and declared that I will not eat till I live. Then she prayed to God with such intensity. Then later in the day, there's a long story, that later in the day there was this river Ganges passing nearby, near her village. She went there in a state of, it was guided from the divine, and she felt like going in that direction. She went there, and she found a bearded saint standing there waiting for her. Said, my child, due to your prayer, due to the urgency of your prayer, God has sent me to give you a method, rare method, right, which nobody knows on earth, a rare method whereby you will be able to live without food and drink. And he passed on that rare procedure, whatever it was. She never disclosed this to anyone. And when Paramahansa Yogananda ji met her in West Bengal in 1936, then at that time she told him that for the past 56 years she didn't eat at all, she didn't drink. Can you imagine? It is possible. So in her case, her prayer was not answered just by a telepathic message, but even the divine power materialized in the form of a saint. That is also possible. But it depends upon the intensity, persistence, and your strong intention, why you want it, right? And if you are sincere, if your desire is requiring divine attention, yes, it is very much possible, right? So, how to go about it? Try to purify yourself. Get rid of all the dross. In so many videos I have explained all the negativities. Purify yourself, right? Then it will be very easy. And the other thing, let me tell you, the other thing is that all this communication is going to happen in your mind. So your mind has to be tranquil. If your mind is too busy all the time in worldly things, in unnecessary thoughts and anxiety and so on, how can these subtle communications take place? You won't be aware of that, right? So try to have equanimity of mind under all situations and purify yourself and stay calm. Do some breathing exercises, prepare for that, and it is very much possible, yes, very much possible to communicate, to have a dialogue with the superpowers. Yes. Thank you for this question, Mr. Sandeep, and I hope everybody likes this video. If you have any comments or questions related to this topic, You are most welcome. Thank you for watching.